I just received my onion seedlings that I pre-ordered from YAJE'S. So it came in this box, and this is how it's looking like. It's not looking too good. So I pre-ordered these back in October, I want to say, and they arrived like after Thanksgiving. They arrived on Black Friday looking like this. I have 3 different types. The Vidora, there's the Vidora, and then there's the Texas Super Sweet, and then there is the Red Creole onion. So 3 different types of onions. So what I'm gonna do now is just put some water in here and hydrate them a little bit, and then I'll plant them in the garden later. Okay, let's just add some water. Set the roots in here, give them some love. I'll clean them up and then plant them later. It came with a barcode, QR code. So we're supposed to scan this QR code and get instructions on planting them. After 1 hour of hard work, this is what I have for the onions. Prepare the beds. So I decided to separate the 1 large bed that I had here into 3, as you can see, and then also added kind of like pathways. So I broke the big bed down into smaller beds for ease of access. So when it was 1 large huge bed like that, it was very difficult to access the different parts of the bed. So I broke it up into manageable parts. I can reach the middle of the bed, the center, without having to step on the bed. So yeah guys, for the 3 different types of onions, 3 beds. I'm gonna be adding this azomite to the beds. I bought this a couple of years ago and it's been sitting in my garage. So I'm just gonna dust some here to add some trace minerals and nutrients back to the soil. It says it's organic. I hope it works out, but I'm just gonna go ahead and dust some of that just like so and walk it in. Okay tribe, I have planted some of the onions. I'm gonna show you in a minute how I did it, but I just want you to take a look at how it is looking so far. So over here, I believe I have, this is the Red Creole onions, and then here we have, I think this is the Texas Sweet. Yeah, Texas Super Sweet onions over here. And then on this last bed right here, I am going to be planting this one. This is the Vidora onions, this one right here, and I will show you how I do it, the spacing and so on and so forth. So let's get planting. So guys, I'm using my seeding square, the spacing tool. This whole thing is 1 foot by 1 foot to help me with the distance, planting distance. The recommended planting distance is 6 to 1 foot, so 6 inches to 12 inches apart. But I decided to just plant 6 inches apart because of space issues. And if I find out that the 6 inches is too close later on, I can always remove some of the onions and use as green onions. So I'm just doing this to help me with spacing. So now I'm just gonna use this tool. It came with the seeding square to mark the places where I'm gonna plant the onions. So right here, this is the middle. So from here to here is 6 inches. From here to here, another 6 inches. I am estimating, guys. Okay, so there will be one, that's one, that is one, that is one, that is one, and so on and so forth. And the planting depth, 1 inch. I'm gonna show you how I plant the onions in a little bit. You don't want to bury it too deep. So when planting the onions, you don't want to bury it too deep. That's what people do not get. They think you need to bury the onions too deep. No, we barely want to cover the roots and very little of the white part. So this is about 1 inch deep or so. I'm gonna put the roots in here. So you don't want to bury too much of that white part because that's what is going to form the onions, and it forms above the ground. So there you go. So just like so. And this is the final product. You want to go ahead and water. I already did that. So onions need a lot of nutrients. Onions are heavy feeders, so it needs a lot of nutrients, a lot of water as well. And then you want to stay on top of weed, so proper weed control. So tribe, the particular type of onions I have growing are short day onions. These are the type of onions you grow if you are in the south. My garden is here in Houston, Texas, zone 9B. So the onions that we grow here are short day onions. I'm going to include a link to the website where I order the onions from, completely free of charge. They are not paying me for this. So if you would like to experiment with growing onions this year, go ahead and get your onion seedlings. You can still plant them now. These onions are going to be ready for harvesting around the end of March in the year 2025. So we start our onions late fall, early winter. It grows throughout the winter, and then we harvest in the spring. Again, these are short day onions. If you are in the north, the type of onions that you grow are not these types. Okay, I hope this video added value to you. If it did, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet done so. Share the video with somebody who might be interested. I will be sure to share the next steps in the growing process. So in the next video, we're going to talk about fertilization and watering, all of that good stuff, because onions are extremely heavy feeders, and what you do in with the onions in the growth part of it is going to determine the amount of yield you get at the end. But in my experience, very well worth it. Thank you again, and I will catch you in my next video. Always remember, when you grow a garden, you grow health. Bye.